Basically saying that because of the way it's set up, all the network needs to be protected and it's additional cost. I'm just wondering if there are, but at the same time, so we talked about transport, but you also mentioned that it has an impact on other sectors, on health, fresh water. So it's like just human development in general. Are there other elements besides adaptation of those assets in transport that the World Bank is doing to try to, help those countries even outside transport? Or is it just there's not much that can be done besides adaptation?
Look, in terms of mitigation, we can do things, and some countries are actually very much willing to reduce their emissions, but their emissions are negligible compared to the rest of the world. So when they are asking us to help them with their strategy to get more green energy, or the main motivation, I think, is to try to lead by example, to shame other countries because they are not doing the right thing. And they say, look, we are relatively poor countries, but we do our part, right? Yeah. We're going to be the first victims of climate change. We are not responsible for it, but we're still trying to do our best to reduce our own emissions. So it's not going to make a huge impact at the level of the whole planet, but during negotiations or international summits like the COP, they can say, we're doing our job, right? We're doing our part. Yeah. So in the energy sector, especially, there are some efforts made to reduce greenhouse gases emissions. But now pretty much every project we do, even budget support, we try to look at ways of doing something about climate. So not much about mitigation, because again, it's not that relevant, but always a lot about adaptation. So if we do schools, we're going to make sure that those schools are built according to a building code that make them more resilient to cyclones, right? If we do hospitals, same thing. And maybe we look into ways of fighting a bit better all those illnesses that I mentioned earlier that maybe made worse because of floods and climate change. So yeah, we are told, and that's our mandate, to whenever we prepare a project, to look at it through the lens of climate change and see how that project, even though it may not be directly related to climate change at first sight, can do something about climate change.